Welcome to Redeeming Bad Movies. I am your host, Ronnie Obenhaus. Tonight, we are going to talk about The Giant Claw. This movie holds a very special place in my heart. It's the first, kind of bad movie that I actually remember watching. So I figured, why not? Let's do this one. This movie came out in 1957, 75 minutes long, directed by Fred Sears, produced by Sam Katzman, starred Jeff Morrow and Mara Corday. Synopsis of the movie: doing test flights on this plane, sees what he thinks is what he knows is a UFO, because it's unidentified, and he reports it as such, but he says it was as large as a battleship flying up there. Of course, they scramble jets, can't find anything, one of the jets is missing. Bum, bum, bum. What did the UFO turn out to be? A giant bird from outer space, of course. What else could it be? Sure, this movie has some shortcomings. It's very staunchly set in 1957. So much so, Mara Corday plays the mathematician that is figuring out all of these numbers about this jet that they're flying, yet she's relegated to serving sandwiches and coffee to the men. So, of course, it's a sign of its times. The rest of the movie, fantastic, except for there's smoking in every scene. Sam Katzman sought out the director, Fred Sears, because he was known for bringing movies in on time and under budget. Speaking of budget, it's rumored that they ran out of money, so Sam Katzman actually goes to Mexico and pays some Mexican company $50 to create this marionette. And that is the bird that you see in the film. And trust me, it looks like somebody spent $50 to make a marionette bird. Just for some context, that's the equivalent of some company like The Asylum making a Sci-Fi Channel movie, and when they get to the monster, they go, crap, we don't even have any money for the monster. Quick, somebody get to Mexico, pay them $500 to create us a monster that the whole movie is centered around. So what does this monster look like? Well, the people who did the movie poster, they weren't even sure what this monster looked like. So they drew it as an eagle, sometimes a hawk. So you have different movie posters that one shows like an eagle, one shows like a hawk. Turns out it's some kind of giant buzzard / turkey hybrid. And when it squawks out there, it sounds like a bird's choking. One of the stories is that Jeff Morrow, the star of the film, he goes to his hometown because they're showing it there. And as soon as the buzzard comes on, people are laughing at it and think it's so ridiculous. He ends up slinking out of his seat and leaving the theater before they realize it was him that was in the movie. So don't get me wrong. The movie was bad. I'm not trying to discount that at all. All right? But it's not as bad as what a lot of people would lead you to believe. If you go back and watch some movies from 1957, they're gonna be standard stuff, right? It's a sci-fi movie. It is a little laughable at times of, hey, what's going on? This bird is covered with antimatter. That's why our bullets and missiles don't hurt it, of course! Because matter and antimatter, when they collide, they disintegrate each other. Yeah, it would also create this huge nuclear explosion that would probably destroy everything, maybe even ignite the atmosphere and then destroy the Earth. But it's 1957. We probably didn't know a lot of this stuff. So the movie, even if they did know this stuff, probably not making it into this movie, okay? Let's just be honest. But the movie is a fun watch. Plus, remember the runtime? 75 minutes. That's with credits. You can get through this movie in an hour. Well, no, because there's not really a lot of credits. So you are going to push it really close to the 75. 75 minutes, man. Hour and 15. How long? We spent an hour and 15 minutes looking through Netflix to find out what to watch. Watch this movie. So is this movie a B movie? Yes. Is it worth watching? Maybe. It depends on what you like. Do you like bad movies? Then you're going to love this movie. Do you like really good movies and only want to see really good movies all the time? Well, sometimes you have to watch the bad in order to know what good is. Overall, this movie is fantastic, okay? I am a little biased because when I watch this movie, it takes me back. The first time I ever saw this movie, I watched it with my dad. So when I watch bad movies, I get this kind of feeling of watching movies with my dad again. It brings back a lot of nostalgia, and I love it. So that's why I continue to watch movies like this. But this movie is worth a watch. If for nothing else, The Bird. It looks ridiculous. Take a look. Overall, I'm going to give this movie 3 giant turkey / buzzard hybrids because it's a fun watch. Who doesn't want to see a giant bird attack a fighter jet? And then when the pilot parachutes out, it swoops in and then eats him whole, parachute and all. You need to watch this movie. They have some pretty good ideas in the movie. A lot of the ideas are ridiculous. One of them's really good. They realize that the bird's probably making a nest somewhere. They find these giant eggs and they're like, we need to shoot these eggs and destroy the babies before this bird can hatch any more of these things. One little thing I will note, again, when they were designing the movie poster, some of the movie posters say a bird from 17 million BC, but we clearly find out that the bird is from outer space. So I don't know how they dated it, especially considering they couldn't really do a lot with it because of the whole antimatter thing. They end up figuring out how to pierce that, but trust me, you're watching this movie for everything else. Well, thank you for joining me in this adventure. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Make sure you like the video and subscribe. And if you want to know when more videos are coming out, make sure you ring that bell. Well, that's it. I'll see you guys later.